story time has started, correct?
Officially now,
Producer says yes.
Story time has started, and
Yay!
we are back to original kind of quarantine setting where we have enlisted the help, secured help of a full-time producer, so they help clean up this act. So if you tuned in the last few weeks, and
Horrible.
if you tuned in the last 2 weeks, and you're like, I'm not so sure about this, then tonight will be better. Okay. So welcome once again to Story Time.
Welcome.
Story Time with Ben
And Jeff.
Pastor Jeff.
Pastor Jeff.
There you go. Because you don't call me necessarily either of those. But with Ben and Pastor Jeff, these times are meant for little kids and to do a story time, and we'll read a book, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we learned from the book and how our faith can be applied to the lesson we learned in the book. But adults are free to watch. That's great too. And
No
then we'll
adults.
close. No, we do not exclude anybody. We're inclusive in this. All right, everyone is welcome to story time. All right. So the way we've been doing this is I will hold the book up, Ben will do the reading,
I do the reading.
and he will project his voice.
I'll try to project my voice.
No,
Sometimes
no. There is no try. There is
There
either do
is.
or not do.
I may forget.
No. So you will do, he will project, and if he doesn't, I'll remind him, and then he'll project. You can't see it, but I have a little buzzer I'm operating with my foot that sends a tiny electrical shock into Ben's body in the event that he is not projecting. And then he gets louder because of the electrical shock. And then I will show the pages of the book. I will show the
While I'm
pages
crying.
while he's crying to take your attention away from him crying. I will show the pages of the book. Okay, I had to do this. I got a little warm beforehand. I was lifting some weights and right up until this time, and so I have a little bit of sweat on my brow. Unfortunately, because I'm bald, my brow goes from here to the back of my head. All right. So the book this evening is called Snail Crossing. This is another one of the books that we read when we were doing. I'm very lowbrow. Yes. This is another one of the books that we read for Messiah Lutheran School, where Ben attends, and where I get to be a teacher for faith formation classes for middle school students. We read this book, we kind of stumbled upon it, and it is an amazing book. So if you've heard it before, that's great. I think you'll enjoy it again. If anything, because we'll add our own little take on it, our reaction, if you will.
Reaction
and
time.
we'll do a reaction video. All right, so this book is called Snail Crossing.
Snail.
There's the snail. All
Usually
right.
it's train crossing or railroad crossing.
Yes, but this is for a snail.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
before we start, I've never seen a sign in my 83 plus years of driving. I've never seen a sign that said, don't do the math, but I've never seen a sign that said snail crossing. All right.
Okay. One lucky day, Snail was out scouting around when he saw
Scouting. I'm going to try that again.
Was out scooting around when he saw the most beautiful sight.
So there's Snail. He's scooting around, and you can see the little trail he leaves, a little gushy, oily, whatever membrane that they're excreting. Don't look that word up, excreting. But that is Snail, and there he is, and he is scooting around. Yeah, we're membrane. Membrane's probably better.
A field of plump, crisp cabbages just across the road. Well, you won't stop me, said Snail to the road.
Said Snail to the road. So, the most amazing sight that Snail saw was a whole patch of cabbages. And something I learned the first time we read this book is that apparently cabbages are the favorite food of snails. Don't look that up either. We have not really done research on any of this. But the little snail right here, he has to cross this busy road to get to the delicious cabbages.
Delicioso.
Delicioso. All right.
Snail had been traveling for some time when he decided to take a break. Why, I must be nearly there, said Snail.
All right.
Thought
we have to check. Is Snail really almost there? Can you tell from looking at the pages?
I don't think
Is
so.
Snail almost there? I don't think so either. I don't even think he's made it to the halfway
I don't know
point.
if he's made it to the quarter.
Yeah, he's barely gone anywhere, but that's probably a pretty big distance for a snail. Reality's about to strike.
He was watching the grumbling gray clouds when he felt something coming his way. A little shaking. Keep doing that one trying to read.
Okay, I apologize.
What it was, Snail could not say.
What is this?
Some things are too big and fast for small snails to ponder. Well, you won't stop me, said the snail to the thing. Snail was cabbage bound.
Cabbage bound.
Nothing could stand in his way.
All right. So we
There's
have
ants back there.
there. Yeah, that's gonna be key. All right. So Snail doesn't know what this thing is. And does anybody know what this big thing is? If you do, type it in. What is this big thing that is loud and fast and making it shake?
And that you probably have
rumble.
one. Well, you.
Your family
yeah,
probably
your family
has
probably
one.
owns one.
But he's not scared. He's gonna keep. He has to keep going to get that cabbage. And we see there's also some tiny things coming behind him, which are ants. Code, which I find comical.
Okay, well, maybe we can take off the code to something else.
So we would probably say, Snail, get out of the road. It's not safe.
Yeah.
And he's like, cabbage time.
Cabbage bound.
Cabbage bound. My bad.
You.
Nope.
Oh, hey, you.
Whoa.
You're standing in our way.
Oh.
We've got a road to cross here. Yelled a troop of rowdy ants.
Is a group of ants called a troop? Do you know?
I think.
Is it? Well, that's what they're called in this book.
Well, I guess it should be more like, hey, you. You're standing in our way. We've got a road to cross here. Yelled a troop of rowdy ants. And they probably would have carried on with that if it hadn't started to rain.
Wow. So the ants don't seem to be concerned about the car or the thing. They're just concerned with the fact that the snail is slowing them down from getting to wherever they're going. And they're like, hey man, get out of the way. Move it
Move it or groove it.
or groove it. Sure, we say that. Loose as a caboose. Loose as a caboose. We have fun.
Rain, cried the ants. Help! 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 Cabbage bound or not, Snail couldn't just leave them there.
Uh-oh.
Come in, said Snail. Come in before you drown. I guess you probably could drown if you were an ant, because puddles, although they might seem like little tiny,
Things to us.
to an ant that's like a lake.
Yeah, or if if a big enough raindrop falling fast enough, that could hurt too. So the snail, he's cabbage bound. We're aware of that.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't let these
He still
ants
has
get hurt.
morals.
He still has morals. He still has values, things he believes in. And so he's like, hey guys, come join me.
Hop in.
Hop in,
Hop. It's not hop on. It's hop
not
in.
hop on.
Hop
And
in.
hop in.
Tea? Asked Snail. Oh, jeez. Thank you. That would be lovely, said the ants. Click.
Click. So right now it's just all darkness inside there. You can see some of their eyeballs.
Your eyeballs.
And
Do ants have eyeballs?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
And the snail is like, hey, you guys might be thirsty. Let's have some tea.
I want to see. Is these the ants' eyeballs?
Yeah, look at their eyeballs. Oh, the click. Guess what? He has electricity in there.
Home sweet home. Oh, that's what the snail looks
Like a slug.
Yeah. And so,
So is a slug just like a homeless snail? Or are those two different things?
I think they're technically different. I think
Alright, we'll
they're,
look that up
I
later.
think they're relatively different. Like a butterfly and a moth.
Oh, okay. They're related but not
Yeah.
the same.
We're sorry about earlier. Terribly sorry. Sometimes we get a bit antsy,
Who get a bit antsy?
said the ants.
A dad wrote that.
Oh, I know the feeling, said Snail. And he told him all about the plump, crisp cabbage just across the road.
Cabbage bound.
Said the ants.
So he's there looking like a slug, sharing some tea with his new friends, the ants. And they apologize. You know, they were in a hurry before, and they're like, look, we're sorry. We're sorry we were not polite before. Snail understands because he was cabbage bound. My favorite thing is that on his, one of my favorite things is on his clock, there's no time. It's just days. Just days of the week.
Sunday,
It's just days. That's all it is. Because maybe because stuff moves so slow for him to have time, it would be, I don't know, the ones making a little house out of the teacups. How big are those teacups, do you think? For us?
we probably couldn't hold it. We'd
That.
crush it if we
We'd
tried to
crush
hold
it. Let's not try.
When the rain stopped, the ants said, thank you, thank you, thank you, and goodbye. Well, I hope you'll come back soon, said Snail. Count on it, said the ants, and off they went. Now, where was I? Said Snail to himself. Ah, yes. Snail was cabbage bound.
Cabbage bound!
Nothing could stand in his way.
So he says goodbye. That look right there on that page, that is determination. That is it the look of determination?
I was going
He-
to say determination.
Yeah, he's determined. He's like, guess what? My floating eyebrows that aren't really attached to anything
Are
say
determined.
we are getting to that cabbage. Chapter 17.
Page numbers.
No, it's not even page numbers.
Snail was scooting right along when he noticed something standing in his way.
Is it another car?
Lunch, said the hungry crow.
It's a crow. Yes.
Well, you won't eat me, said Snail. Can't you see I'm cabbage bound?
Cabbage bound.
Evasive maneuvers! Evasive maneuvers!
Evasive maneuvers. So evasive maneuvers, he's like, get out of here, serpentine, evasive maneuvers. And he goes and he tries to confuse the crow with all of his gliding around so that the crow cannot eat him. He's scared. He is a terrified
Evasive maneuvers.
snail. Evasive maneuvers.
Honk honk! The car saved him. And just like that, the hungry crow was gone. Snail was very relieved, but a little dizzy from all that spinning. He's going back towards the other side,
Uh-oh.
the middle. Cabbage bound, I'm cabbage bound. Head in the clouds, foot on the ground.
That was amazing. Ben just made that tune up right now, and that was
Did you know
impressed.
snails have feet?
I didn't know they had feet.
Well, it's a foot. Their like bottom part is called their foot.
If their foot, it's
They have
just
like a moving part on the bottom, like a conveyor foot.
like just like
Like a tire sort of.
maybe like a tank track, how it goes.
Yeah.
But it's still just one thing. It's something inside of it. So next week we'll read Anatomy of a Snail. But this week it's just Snail Crossing, and you can see the truck scares away the crow, so he's safe. But as Ben pointed out, he turned around in his evasive maneuvers. He lost all sense of direction.
Who that hacker?
And yet, he was singing. He was super happy. He's gonna get to the edge of the road. He's almost there. What
Snail
happens?
scooted and scooted and scooted and hooray! Said the snail. I made it!
Woohoo! Huh?
Where was the cabbage?
Where is the cabbage? The snail got to the other side. He got to the side of the road. He's in the grass. He's so excited to see the cabbage, and he's like, "Where is the cabbage?"
Hello, doggy. The
So
dog's
where
here to
is the
see
cabbage?
The dog's wondering where the cabbage
Where's the
is.
cabbage, Hudson? Can you see it? Where's the cabbage? Where's the cabbage?
They're
Hey,
looking
where's
at
the cabbage?
Mom, what do you call it?
Where's the
Producer,
cabbage?
security.
Security. Need some furry things out of here, making it hard to read.
Well, shoot, said Snail.
He notices he went all the way to the middle of the street and then back the other way. Right? Is that right, Hudson? He went all the way to the middle of the street and back the other way. Is that right, Bobby? All right. Yes, thank you, sir. Do I taste like cabbage? I don't know why. I haven't had any.
Oh, what was that on the horizon? Could it be? It was!
Yes!
The cabbage was coming to Snail!
Wait, does cabbage have feet?
I remember the first time you heard.
Yeah. Does cabbage have feet? How is this cabbage coming to the snail. If you think you know how the cabbage is getting to the snail, write in the comments, how is that happening? The snail is so excited.
I'm not here to say, then you're wrong.
Then you're wrong. No, the cabbage is coming to the snail. It's like a dream come true.
Like something.
You don't ruin it for our friends.
Ooh, it's the next page.
Well, they haven't seen the next page.
Hooray! Said snail. You can do that one if you want.
Snail bound, we're snail bound. So it's not rolling, it's being carried.
By the ants.
The ants.
They came. It was like a thank you kind of.
Yeah, he helped them by putting lime would come in his shell while the rain was coming down, and they saw that he didn't come across the road, and so they brought the cabbage to him.
Thank you, he said to the ants. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then the new friends went inside for cabbage soup and tea, and no one felt antsy at all.
Yes.
And then, hold on, this is gonna be.
Close that as fast as a snail. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. No, it's perfect.
I'll do
And a
cheetah.
cheetah and snap. So that was a great book, Snail Crossing.
Snail crossing.
And what we get from that book, what we talked about this book, and how it can inspire us and talk to us about our faith, is what kind of characteristic or how was the snail? Okay, I'll take care of that. How was the snail? What was he doing when he was helping out the ants? What was he showing?
He was showing. I don't want to say mercy because it sounds like he was about to get tagged. He was. Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, yeah. He was being kind.
Yeah, he was being
He was
nice.
being kind. He was being compassionate. There's all kinds of different words that we can use that are something we call synonyms, not synonyms, but synonyms. And these words
nice.
that synonym is nice. What's a synonym for synonym? Synonym. What's a synonym? What's a synonym for synonym? What's a synonym for synonym? Synonym. All right.
What's
So,
a synonym for cinnamon?
dog hair. Wrong pipe. So, I don't think there's a right pipe for dog hair, but. So, the snail is showing kindness to the ants. And
That's beautiful.
they didn't ask him for it.
They were being mean to her.
They didn't ask him for it.
Mom.
They just went ahead and
In the
he
cabinet.
just went ahead and did it out of the kindness of his heart. And then when he didn't do it because he wanted anything from them, but because he did that,
Then
later,
they needed something nice back.
yeah, they were like,
Like
thank you.
reward.
Yeah, as a return act of kindness. So this book teaches us kindness, and that's something we talk about in our Christian faith all the time. Kindness. How do we be kind to other people? How can we? Kindness is kind of like putting.
Kindness is kind of.
Yes, it's almost like putting love, or a bigger church word, grace. It's like putting love into action. Kindness. It's putting love into action.
Oh,
It's
that kind of
doing
action.
something.
Like doing something.
Doing something.
I don't even remember what
Yeah. No.
action movie.
No. There might be kindness in that. So, we hope you enjoyed the book Snail Crossing. We'll be back again next week,
Sometime.
Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Tuesday night.
Saturday or
We'll let
Sunday
you
or
know.
Monday or Tuesday or
Um,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
but
Saturday, Sunday.
We've had a
Monday,
great time
Thursday,
reading to you again, and we hope
Once
you
more.
got something out of it as well.
Friday.
If you have any
Shovels.
requests, or if you have any Good Kids books that you would love to donate to the church so that Ben and I can read them, feel free to do that too. Just email the church office, and that way we can get them, because we kind of have a limited number of books.
Yeah,
So-
we might have to.
no. We'll just so. But we'll end tonight like we do each and every other week with a prayer, and I'll do the kind of prayer that we do for children's sermons, which is
Well, I'll repeat back
a
to you.
responsive prayer, an echo prayer. Okay, you gonna help us pray? All right, dear God,
Dear God,
we thank you
we thank you
for the snails
for the snails
and ants
and ants
in our lives,
in our lives.
people that do kind things
People that do kind things
for us,
for us,
and people
and people
who receive
who receive
our kindness.
our kindness.
Help us love you.
We love you.
Amen. All right. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a great evening.
Bye-bye.